That is not how I am assessing my life. Rather, I am assessing it in terms of my level of serenity. The Lord is just providing me with this amazing serenity in the middle of all that is happening, despite the fact that everything is wild and hectic, especially with Rebecca going nuts. With the knowledge that they will encounter strong opposition, how can someone take a stand and act morally? The consequences and disincentives for speaking the truth can frequently be too great if you are only living in the material world. Therefore, I think the answer is that in order to prevent these effects, you need to have some sort of spiritual commitment. People mistakenly believe that it is their duty to learn how to be a leader or to try to handle someone. But in actuality, God has put them in a position of power over you. Instead of standing above them, you are one of them. If you try to go in and take them out, you are not being honorable, and that is not how the kingdom of God functions. I would advise a younger leader who is working for an unqualified leader to always have the option to quit. Serving someone who has no value or who is involved in something you don't think is proper is unnecessary. If you feel that something is happening here that you shouldn't be involved in, you should leave. You really don't have time to toss a hand grenade through the door as you're leaving. You should serve others before departing from this world as a Christian. Thank you for coming back to our channel at this moment, everyone. The subject of our discussion today is a query that has baffled many of us. Why did Rebecca Lamb Weiss and her husband Jonathan Weiss decide to keep quiet in the midst of the devastating allegations that have rocked the Daystar network and the Lamb family? And for those who are just catching up, the following is a quick synopsis. The Lamb family, the creators of the dominant Christian television network Daystar, have been embroiled in a horrific scandal. Jonathan Lamb and his wife Susie accused a close relative of sexually assaulting their 5-year-old daughter. However, neither Rebecca nor her husband JW, who play important roles in Daystar's operations, have spoken out. Daystar. Marcus and Joni Lamb, who just died away, had 3 children, Jonathan, Rachel, and Rebecca. Daystar Television Network, valued at $1 billion, was founded by Marcus and Joni Lamb. A tornado of speculation has been created as a result of the absence of communication. Does it stem from fear, reliance on money, or something more darker? So that's what the definitions give. That's what you know. That's why the definitions are important. Rebecca Lamb Weiss and JW's lack of communication expresses deeper issues like control, loyalty, and survival rather than just familial issues. Let's take a closer look at it. Rebecca was from a wealthy family that has been known in the Christian media as a dynasty. Her husband JW plays a crucial role in the production department behind the scenes at Daystar. Throughout their time together, their lives have been interwoven with the network's objective. However, new research appears to paint a different image of the Lamb family's lifestyle. According to the allegations, JW and Rebecca allegedly supported Jonathan and Susie in private. The information available online indicates that Rebecca and JW wrote a letter outlining their worries regarding Pete's behavior. The presence of this piece of evidence would greatly bolster the SA's case. However, the fact that they have not spoken out in public has led many to question why they have not joined the fight. Are they remaining silent due to Rachel's threats and the non-disclosure agreement, NDA? Let's now discuss the most evident issue in the room. Why haven't JW and Rebecca been heard? Let's start by talking about what seems to be a crucial element, the application of financial leverage. The claims state that Daystar helped Rebecca and JW purchase their property by giving them a sizable $780,000 loan. At first glance, this appears to be fairly generous. However, insiders assert that this financing came with terms, and that these terms were effectively used to ensure their silence. Jonathan Lamb has openly criticized Daystar's use of loans and non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, to limit family members and employees. Lamb declined such financial ties. It is important to take note of this. Unlike Rebecca and JW, Jonathan was able to avoid having to rely on the network since he secured bank financing for his house. can tell you that Jonathan did not get a loan to pay for the purchase of his house as of right now. Jonathan is conscious of this. Since he visited a bank like everyone else, he is therefore not bound by them. In the meantime, the girls are the only ones helping him out. They all went to Daystar to finance their homes and took out big loans with what must have been quite expensive interest rates. Why didn't you get a loan, was the question I posed to Jonathan in our private talk yesterday evening. He said, I didn't feel that was right. He believed that searching through Daystar was inappropriate. Marcus felt sure that this man would be the one to take charge of Daystar since he had faith in him. He is a morally upright individual. Furthermore, a crucial piece of the puzzle is non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs for short. According to people close to the Lamb family, Rebecca and J.W. Lamb have signed non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, that prohibit them from discussing delicate topics. It has been claimed that these agreements cover family conflicts and accusations of misconduct in addition to the security of business secrets. When the Lamb, consequently, the question of why a Christian organization, a self-declared church, would rely so heavily on non-disclosure agreements emerges, critics contend that this is more about suppressing dissenting opinions and hiding accusations than it is about protecting trade secrets. One extremely interesting aspect to explore is J.W.'s initial position. According to Jonathan, J.W. used to be completely supportive of him. He even wrote a strong letter expressing his worries about Pete and his support for Jonathan's attempts to expose the truth. But as the crisis worsened, things started to change. Those with knowledge of the matter speculate that the decision to quiet J.W. and Rebecca may have been influenced by the financial reliance created by the $780,000 debt. If they spoke out or violated their non-disclosure agreement, they might risk losing their house and their financial security. From what I've been told, J.W. addressed his concerns in a letter that had a significant impact. When he read the document to me, it described all he had seen, including all the numerous details that suggested Pete was the criminal. It proved that they were fully dedicated to this stance. Unfortunately, they have chosen to keep quiet and have signed the non-disclosure agreement. Let's start by discussing the emotional toll it took. Taking a public stand might distance Rebecca and J.W. from the Lamb family, which is closely connected to both their personal and professional lives at the same time. According to reports, Rachel Lamb Brown plays a key role in enforcing this silence, and it's probable that Johnny Lamb, the matriarch of the Lamb family, is leading the charge to maintain the family's secrecy and unity. So, which part of this is complicity and which is self-preservation is the question that needs to be addressed. This silence highlights a deeper issue with Daystar. Rather than just being a reflection of individual decisions, the network has made it harder to distinguish between functioning as a business and functioning as a church. Despite its claims to be evangelizing, it uses tactics like financial leverage and non-disclosure agreements that seem more suited for a corporate environment. Furthermore, it is important to remember that Jonathan Lamb has paid a heavy price for his refusal to keep quiet. He lost his vice presidential post and perhaps other roles as a result of his criticism of Daystar's organizational structure. Nevertheless, his courage remains a testament to his unflinching faith and integrity. Their struggle serves as a reminder of the ramifications of coming out, which include not only the emotional, but also the monetary and reputational costs. What does this mean, therefore, for J.W. and Rebecca? Rebecca and J.W. will ultimately be held responsible for their choice to remain silent, which they will ultimately have to answer for. If not to the public, then at least to God. We know that the truth will always prevail because we are believers. It is just a matter of time until the secrets that have been shielded by financial control and non-disclosure agreements are made public. The disclosure agreements are made public. Until another time comes, we will keep praying for justice, healing, and clarity for all those involved in this horrible incident. We greatly value your presence on our channel. If this conversation was thought-provoking, we would be very grateful if you would like, share, and subscribe. As always, don't forget to pray, be educated, and enjoy yourself while watching this movie. God gives people free will, therefore you can't force them to do anything. Pushing someone repeatedly is a kind of manipulation. We encouraged people to make their own decisions in front of the Lord, but we never meant to have any sort of power or influence over them. We will do it our way. Certainly, I am really appreciative of Becca and JW have made their decisions. So it's not just that they don't want to talk. They made this conscious decision, and I firmly believe that boundaries and choices should be respected. Everybody will be held accountable by God. Like them, I will answer to God, and they will answer to God. They will eventually appear before God as a result of this choice.